You pass it without thinking, a gray pigeon beside the pavement, near the bus stop, outside the same shop. To you, it disappears into the background. But to the pigeon, you may not be background at all. Welcome to the Pigeon Mind. Stay until the end, because the bird you ignore every day may already know your face, your walk, and the quiet pattern of you. There is a bird that you pass almost every single day of your life. You walk straight past it on the pavement, at the bus stop, in the square. You barely register it, just a flicker of gray at the edge of your vision. To you, it is part of the background, as forgettable as the pavement itself. You have probably never truly looked at a single one of them closely. But here is the strange and quiet twist that almost nobody ever considers. While you have been ignoring that bird, it may have been carefully noticing you. The very creature you never bothered to see may know your face surprisingly well. It may recognize you in a crowd while you could not pick it out at all. You forget it instantly, yet it may remember you for weeks or even months. So how can it be that the bird you ignore knows you so much better? The answer says as much about you as it does about the clever little bird. To understand the twist, we first have to understand why you ignore it at all. Your brain, it turns out, is constantly and quietly filtering the world for you. At every moment, your senses are flooded with far more than you can process. So your mind quietly and ruthlessly ignores almost everything around you that seems familiar or unimportant. This is a genuinely real and well-studied effect that scientists sometimes call inattentional blindness. We simply do not consciously see the many things that our busy brain has quietly labeled as background. And to almost everyone in the city, the common gray pigeon is the ultimate background bird. It is everywhere, it is plain, and it seems to ask nothing of us. So your mind files it away as scenery and quietly stops truly seeing it. This is not any kind of cruelty or coldness. It is simply how ordinary human attention actually works. We could not function if we noticed every pigeon on every single street. So we let them blur into the gray of the everyday urban background. But here is the one crucial difference between your busy human mind and the watching pigeons. But for the watching pigeon, you are not background at all. In fact, you are genuinely important. To that small bird, every human nearby is a question that genuinely matters. Are you a source of food? Are you harmless? Or are you a real danger? And for the pigeon, getting that one answer right is genuinely a real matter of life and survival. A person who has once fed it before means the welcome promise of another easy and reliable meal. A person who has once chased it before means a real and remembered threat to be carefully avoided. So while you barely notice the bird cannot afford to ignore you. Its very survival may genuinely depend on its ability to tell you apart from everyone else. So it pays you the close attention that you never pay back to it. It studies your face, your shape, your walk, and the way that you move. It slowly learns whether you tend to bring it food or to bring it trouble or simply nothing at all. And it quietly files all of this into a small but lasting memory of you. The very bird you forget, the instant you walk past it, may remember you long afterward. This is the strange asymmetry at the very heart of this whole story. You hold the power to ignore, but the pigeon holds the power to remember. But can a pigeon truly know a specific human face? That is the real question. And here, the honest answer to that is firmly grounded in genuine scientific research. In a number of careful studies, pigeons have clearly shown a real and genuine ability to recognize people. In one famous experiment, in a Paris park, wild feral pigeons were tested. Two deliberately similar people, in clearly different coats, treated the very same birds in opposite ways. One was gentle and neutral, while the other repeatedly chased the birds away. The pigeons quite quickly learned to avoid the chaser and to calmly trust the gentle one. Then, in the crucial test, the two people swapped their differently colored coats entirely. Yet the pigeons still clearly avoided the original chaser, despite him wearing the new coat. This neatly proved that the birds were clearly not simply tracking the easily changed clothing. They were using more stable features of the actual person to tell them apart. Other careful studies, using only photographs, showed pigeons reliably distinguishing familiar human faces from strangers. And separate studies with real living people found that cues from the head seemed to matter greatly. So the ability to recognize individual humans is genuinely real and quite carefully documented. But we must stay honest about the careful limits of what this truly means. These studies clearly show recognition, but they do not show that the bird can read your mind. So how does a brain so small manage to remember a particular human face? The pigeon does not store a perfect portrait of you in the way that a simple camera would. Instead, it learns a whole bundle of stable features that together reliably signal you. The shape of your head, your overall build, and the way that you carry yourself. The rhythm of your walk, the pace, and the angle of your moving body. It carefully blends all these signals together into one quiet, working expectation of who you are. Then it links that bundle to a memory of how you have behaved before. Pigeons turn out to be unusually gifted at exactly this kind of patient and detailed visual learning, and they can hold on to such learning in their memory for a genuinely long stretch of time. So a face you showed it weeks ago may still be filed quietly away. The next time you appear, it does not start fresh. It draws on memory. It already has a confident guess about whether to calmly approach you or to quickly flee. That quick, calm, confident reaction is really the memory of you quietly at work. The bird you never look at has been quietly studying you all along. So picture the exact moment that you step into the bird's field of view. In a fraction of a second, the pigeon has already begun to read you. It matches your shape and your walk against the memory it quietly holds. If the memory is good, it relaxes and may even edge a little closer. If the memory is bad, it tenses and quietly prepares to slip away. All of this happens silently before you have even fully noticed the bird. You are still busy filtering it out as background while it has already fully recognized you. By the time you glance over, if you ever do, the judgment is long made. Its calm or its caution is really its memory of you made visible. So the way a pigeon greets you is a quiet report card on your past. Its behavior is the echo of every encounter the two of you have shared. But here, as always, we must pause and stay carefully and clearly honest. To say that it knows your face does not mean at all that it thinks about you like a friend. It is not fond of you, it does not miss you, and it is not your companion. It is not pondering your life, your character, or what you might be feeling. It simply recognizes a familiar pattern and quietly predicts what you are most likely to do. This is genuinely not love, it is not loyalty, and it is certainly not any kind of devotion. It is purely practical recognition, working only in the service of its simple daily survival. We should not dress this up in human feelings that the bird does not hold. And yet, even when it is stripped of all sentiment, the simple bare fact remains genuinely remarkable. A small creature that you never once notice has carefully noticed and quietly remembered you. The asymmetry alone is genuinely humbling when you finally stop to feel it. No invented affection is ever needed to make that simple truth quietly and genuinely moving. So the next time you pass that bird, try, just for once, to truly see it. Just stop ignoring it for a single quiet moment and actually properly look at the bird. Notice the shimmering green and purple glowing softly around its surprisingly elegant little neck. Notice the sharp, alert, constant intelligence glinting in its small, watchful orange eye. Then consider that this very bird may already know your face by sight. It may well have watched you far more closely and carefully than you ever once watched it. You can even quietly test this whole idea gently and patiently, entirely for yourself. Pick out one pigeon with clear distinctive markings that you reliably see in the same spot. Visit at the same time, behave calmly, and simply watch how it responds. See whether it genuinely treats you noticeably differently from the unfamiliar strangers around you. See whether over many days it begins to let you come a little closer. You may slowly come to realize that a quiet kind of recognition has formed between the two of you, and the bird you once ignored becomes an individual that you finally see. The watching, it turns out, can finally begin to work in both directions. So the humble gray pigeon that you ignore every single day was never truly invisible at all. It was simply filtered quietly out by your busy human mind as forgettable everyday background. But to that bird, you were never background at all. You genuinely mattered. It watched you, learned you, and quietly filed your face away in memory. It may know you in a crowd, while you would never pick it out. That is not love, it is not friendship, and it is not any kind of bond. It is simply a small, clever, capable animal doing exactly what it must in order to survive. And yet, there is genuinely something quietly and deeply humbling in that one simple fact. You are quietly remembered by a small creature that you never once bothered to remember yourself. You are quietly seen by small eyes that you have honestly never once truly looked into. The gray bird at your feet holds a small, quiet record of you. So I will leave you with one simple thing to try this very week. Choose just one pigeon that you happen to pass somewhere in your daily, ordinary routine. Learn its individual markings, and then for once, actually pay it your genuine full attention. Watch it across several days and see whether it watches you in return. Tell me exactly where it happened and how that particular bird reacted to you. And tell me whether you felt that quiet sense of being finally seen back. Because the bird you ignore every single day has been seeing you all along, quietly learning your whole face, all the while as you looked everywhere but at it. Slow down just once and meet the small eyes that already know you. You might find that you were never quite as alone as you assumed. The city is full of small, watching minds that quietly keep track of us. And one of them knows your face far better than you ever would have guessed.